My name is Henry Beckett. I am an ordinary man, married, father of 2. When I was a child I always wanted to be an astronaut. But after school ended life steered me into being a guard. Since my youth I've worked as a watchman or security guard in shops, businesses and bus stations. After I earned my certificate I worked as a security officer at a local bank. But I grew tired of illiterate old people and slick types who pester you when it's their turn, so I started at a place called Blackwood Industrial Weaving and Textile Manufacturing Company. I've been here for the last 2 years. This factory had been closed for 2 weeks for renovations. My job was to drive here at night and watch the monitors. At first I used to do patrols. Then I got bored and started just sitting and reading. As it grew dark I was driving on US Route 220. A pickup truck whose every inch screamed immigrant cut in front of me. When I told the man to be careful he spat half-hearted insults at me.
يا حمار يا ابن الكلب تف عليك وعلى سيارتك الروح انقلع من وجهي الله يلعنك ويلعن أمك يا ابن العاهرات.
I picked up the baseball bat from my car and the man floored it and left. I put the bat back and kept driving to the factory. At that hour the incident really pissed me off. I was fixated on that man. After I arrived at the factory I went to my room. I turned on the monitors. I set out my book and my coffee in a thermos. Around 2 a.m. I started to feel sleepy. I put the book aside. It was pitch black anyway. The workers who were doing the renovations had already gone home. I was the only one in the huge factory. I decided to rest my head on the table for a bit. I set an alarm on my wristwatch. That way I would wake up before the foreman arrived and no one would know I had slept. The security camera in my room had been broken for a long time. None of the cameras really worked. I made a pillow with my arm and fell asleep. At 4 a.m. a sharp, disturbing alarm woke me. My heart jumped into my throat. I looked at the control panel in front of me. A red light was flashing. The alarm was coming from boiler number 17. It was a stuck lock-up alarm. But here's the thing. This boiler hadn't been in use since I started working here. They had left it to die. Yet the panel showed it as active. I thought to myself, those damn stray cats must have tangled in the wiring again. But a fear rose inside me. A feeling told me to go. So I did. I grabbed my flashlight and put on my jacket. I walked alone through the factory's deserted corridors. My footsteps echoed. I reached boiler number 17. From inside came a metallic scraping sound. There were no cats around. I forced open the heavy lid of the boiler. I shone the flashlight inside. At the bottom of the boiler, in the dark, I saw a shape. At first I couldn't make sense of it. I stepped closer. I held the light steadier. My breath caught. I felt an indescribable sensation. I couldn't make out the details clearly, but there was a human body there, halfway to becoming a skeleton. It was covered in dust and darkness. It was in a strange position, and with empty eyes it seemed to be looking at me as if begging for help. I couldn't take my eyes off those hollow eye sockets. It was as if it was telling me it was too late for everything. An overwhelmingly disgusting and heavy stench filled the space. The corpse's mouth was open and its teeth were visible. One hand rested next to hot pipes. Maybe he had tried to climb but slipped because of the heat of the pipes. That disgusting smell stuck to my nose. It was even at the back of my throat. It slowly filled my lungs. When my flashlight slid slightly, the bones looked as if they were moving. My stomach was extremely nauseous. My heart was pounding like mad. Even with years of experience, I had never encountered anything like this. I stepped back so as not to disturb the scene. I ran to the watch room. While running, I had the feeling that the body was running after me. I was about to vomit. I grabbed the landline. I called 911. My voice was trembling, but I tried to speak clearly. My name is Henry Beckett. I'm a security officer at Blackwood Industrial Weaving and Textile Manufacturing Company. I found a dead body in boiler number 17. I'm in the industrial area on 37 Industrial Access Road. Building 4B, Parcel 12. Mercy Township, zip code 18591. I'm calling from 570-555-0143. That number is the fixed line in the security room. My badge number is PA9134. Please send whoever you can.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news. Early this morning, in Blackwood Textile, which is closed for renovations, a horrifying discovery was made. The factory's security guard found the dead body of a man inside boiler number 17. Police teams have launched a wide-ranging investigation at the scene. According to officials, the man is 5'10" tall and weighs 150 pounds. The man's identity and cause of death have not yet been determined. The investigation continues in depth.
I was held under interrogation for days. The police, the prosecutor, everyone. They questioned the factory employees and the renovation workers. No one recognized this corpse. Nobody had filed a missing person report. The man was no different from a ghost. At one point during the interrogation, the police began to treat me badly. They thought I was acting. They kept me away from my family. They threatened to torture me. They said they would kill my loved ones. They told me that if I said I was the killer, they would not treat me badly in the cell. but I refused all of it. I spent a while in detention. Eventually they came to their senses and released me. After that I didn't want to see the factory. I never wanted to be in those dark corridors again. I quit. I started going for treatment every week at Ashwood 3rd Mental and Nervous Disorders Hospital. I still remember those sounds and that image. But telling it is not enough.
Today is Monday, November 3rd, 2025. On Saturday, October 19th, 1996, at the Blackwood Industrial Weaving and Textile Manufacturing Company in Mercy Township, Pennsylvania, security guard Mr. Beckett found a dead body in boiler number 17. The corpse was unrecognizable when it was pulled from the boiler. It was recorded that his height was 5'10" and his weight was 150 pounds. Not a single person came forward to say this man was missing. Not a single family reported him as their missing person. His identity could not be determined. The case was shelved in July 2004. It is not known where the corpse is now. The veil of mystery has never been lifted. No record provided a single clue. Every kind of examination ended without result. No one dares to bring this matter to light. For 29 years there has been no word from anyone.
Dear Diary, sometimes in the therapy room I close my eyes. I imagine that old landline ringing. But the callers are not my boss or my children. It's the sound of that alarm as if it comes from inside that boiler. That alarm was someone's last call to the world, a husband's, a father's, a son's, and I was the only one who answered that call. Finding him felt like my last duty. Who was that man? I don't know. Now I just want to forget. I wish they had stabbed me on that road so I would never have made it there.